If you're going in there with no confidence, not feeling comfortable, anxious, all of that, you're already setting yourself up to fail with her. So how are you gonna have small talk leading to big talk if there is no small talk? You don't wanna be outside and thinking like, damn, oh man, I look bad. Bad first impression. What is what is up, my BBossBaddies and my bad mind fellas? It is your girl Bosana and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell by the title, today I am going to be talking about how to meet your ideal woman during COVID. It doesn't necessarily have to be during COVID. This can happen literally anytime. So yeah, maybe I will put COVID or not, but because it's still technically COVID, yes, let's talk about during the corona time, okay? So you guys already know, make sure you check out my other channel. It's right there for you guys. Just search up Bosana, get to know me. And then of course my Patreon. I'm dropping a video on Patreon actually today, so make sure you're on the lookout for that. And then lastly, you know, my social media. We start from 5, go down to 1. So that means what? You gotta watch until the end to get the number 1 thing. Now, for the first 3 things that I have on my list, it's face-to-face. And the last 2 that I have on my list is online. So make sure you watch until the end because everything I tell you is gonna be important. So number 5 on my list is be ready. When you have your errands, when you have a day where you're just stepping out, whatever it is, anytime you have to always be ready. And let's start with your appearance. You have to look presentable no matter what. Sometimes some guys can just throw on a few things and boom, they look good, they look fine. And then for other guys, maybe for them to just look presentable, they need to have, you know, a little bit more extra than a typical guy. And remember, you guys, be true to yourself. So don't try to look presentable the way somebody else that gets all these girls does. You have to still be true to yourself, and that's what, you know, makes a lot of guys be noticeable and also more attractive. Copying and try to portray someone else is not what you want to turn to. Know yourself, you guys. Wherever you're going, make sure to keep in mind you might see that girl you're looking for. You might meet. It's also going right back to yourself. You always wanted to be good for yourself, and that's honestly just grooming yourself, keeping yourself clean, neat. The haircuts, you know, a nice little casual fit, looking scruffy and looking like your life is a mess. That ideal woman that you want to meet, she's not gonna look at you and be like, oh, I'm sure his whole life is going so well right now. And you guys really don't forget, appearance does mean a lot. Sometimes people take that whole idea and not think too much about it, but appearance really does mean a lot. And that's key thing right there, first impression. You want to leave a good first impression. Number 4 on my list is look for the signs. When you are out here, it's almost a mingling with almost no action towards it. When you are out there and you are open for a relationship, or you know, you're not thinking too much, you're just kind of like, if somebody comes into my life, okay, like I said, just open for a relationship, or you don't even mind just talking to somebody, not necessarily being in a relationship yet, but just talking to somebody and seeing where it can get. When you are out there, there's gonna be females that are gonna leave signs, and it's almost in the woman nature to leave a sign. There are type of girls that are stuck up. There are type of girls that feel like, no, I think it's against my woman nature to actually make the signs. It's all about the guy. He has to make this first move, all that. I don't believe that should be the way it is, because that's what makes a lot of guys approach a woman and then it just flops. It just doesn't go their way because this whole time the girl had no signs, but maybe the guy's thinking, oh, maybe if I approach her, she might still be interested, and not to worry about if she showed any signs. No, you guys, it's very important that you get a hint. Of course, I would say here and there, take your shot, but there is a lot of girls that don't leave no signs, and it's because of a reason, because they have a man and they're actually loyal to their man, because they're not interested in you, or because they're there for a different reason. There's gonna be things that she'll do, play with her hair, lick her lips just a little bit, like, you know, not like guys be like that whole thing, or maybe just be like a little lip bite. It's gonna happen naturally if she's actually attracted to you. And it's just the type of movements and the way your body reacts when you find somebody attractive or you want their attention. If she's like one of those that tries to be slick and gives you the quick glance, okay, so be it, but you have to make sure you're looking for a sign. If you find a female attractive, if you see her and you're like, oh, this looks like my ideal woman, keep in mind that she could look at you and feel that way as well. So she will express to you in a way of showing some sort of sign, even if it's just a little bit. Don't just think completely, oh no, she won't show nothing. Don't think like, I will not look at her at all. Like, you could do all of that, but you want to meet your ideal woman, so don't block your blessings in a sense. Number 3 is my last one for face to face, and this is when you approach, make sure you approach with confidence. And I talked about this. I have a whole video about how to approach women and, you know, basically just being confident, nothing to worry about. But when you're approaching, as I said, if there's the signs, then you shouldn't even be worried about a single thing. Because sometimes, yeah, they might lead you on or you might think that's a sign, but at the end of the day, you know she did something to make you come to her. You know she did something to reel you in. So it's nothing for you to be worried about. But when you approach, at the end of the day, everything has to be with confidence. When you look good or you look presentable, when you have your fresh haircut, your nice little fit, whatever it is that makes you feel confident, when you know you have money and you know you're good without her or without anybody, then you are good. You just make your first move. To wrap up, number 3, if you're going in there with no confidence, not feeling comfortable, anxious, all of that, you're already setting yourself up to fail with her. If you don't have those last 2 things that I named ready, then don't do it. If you're not at a place where you think you can actually go approach this and feel okay afterwards with whatever results you get, then don't do it. You actually have to build yourself, and that's what you have to do in the meantime before you're ready to meet your ideal woman. So let's move on to number 2 on my list, and now we're at when you are talking online. Now, number 1 thing online is online dating. I'm going to talk about what you should be keeping in mind with your profile and all that. But with online dating, it's still such a big trend. And because it is still COVID, a lot of people are literally just still talking online. Like, you know, some people aren't really meeting. Some people are not mingling. Like, we're not at that stage where we're full out, you know, out there. There's no clubs open, none of that. Like, it's just everybody's relaxing right now. And so I would feel like online dating is more of something that will meet an ideal woman instead of actually face to face. Now, when you are online dating, make sure you are on sites that people actually go on. Sites that you guys might have heard of, or sites that I feel like you can have some success with, would be Tinder. Now, keep in mind with Tinder, obviously it's more of people that literally want to just hook up. But remember, when I talk about what you need in your profile, it'll help you a lot. So Tinder is a big one just because there's so many different options on there. And it's really, really valid. Like, you know, there is obviously some catfishes out there. But, you know, you have a better chance to really meet somebody that you might be interested in. I heard of POF. I actually never used POF. I think that's Plenty of Fish. That's what it's called. And then that's really about it. I don't know too much about dating sites. The only one that I ever used was Tinder. And I stayed on Tinder for a long, long time. Like, I always was on Tinder. Tinder was literally my thing. So maybe I will do a Tinder experience or a story time. If you guys want to see that, let me know down below. I have plenty, okay? But it was nothing crazy because when I was on Tinder, I was interested in finding somebody, and that was a big problem too. I was trying to find a relationship. You guys should always just relax and expect it to just happen. So if you do want to hear the story times of people that I thought, you know, I found the one, then let me know down below, okay? As far as the dating sites, before I go into number 1, make sure that you have a good profile pic. You guys remember that's key thing. You have to have a good profile pic because that's the first thing that they're gonna click on. That's the first thing that they're gonna see, right? So you don't want to have something creepy. You don't want to have somebody that's completely not you or something else, like your pet. Like, I see that a lot. A lot of people just put their pet. Like, yeah, some girls are like, oh, cute, but you want to show yourself because that's the whole purpose. You want people to be interested in you. So make sure you have a good profile pic, and then make sure that you have at least 3 or more pictures up. Just make sure your profile looks legit and give a good amount of information, but not too much. Just enough for someone to look at your profile and be like, ooh, I'm interested. Or they want to know more. You know, you always want to give something that is going to lead to more, them wanting more answers and all of that, okay? Let's move on to number 1 on my list, and that is feed off of their energy. And that means that small talk leads to big talk. If you are not getting no talk from somebody, if it's not getting nowhere, where it's just dead, what are you pursuing to continue to talk? There's nothing that's going to continue to get anywhere. So how are you going to have small talk leading to big talk if there is no small talk? I think sometimes guys really keep talking, saying this, trying to get this conversation to pop off, but there's nothing working there. There is no conversation. So what do? You just leave it. Small talk leads to big talk. If you don't have no talk, it doesn't lead to nothing. And feel their energy. Oh yeah, she's interested in me, or she's giving you signs still. Some energy that you're feeling through the texting, that it's like, and it's not obviously like, oh, you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, I feel it in my heart. Obviously some people might feel that, but I'm talking more so when you are talking and the conversation pops up, or when they start opening up with you, or when they ask for your number. But remember, when that talk starts, you want to talk, get it to go somewhere, and then when it's time, then you ask for their number. Don't just jump and be like, can I get your number? So I have a lot to say, you guys. Like, I really do have a lot written down. I thought I was gonna crush it in 10 minutes, but I didn't. So if you guys do want a part 2 or any of the things that I talked about, make sure you drop it down below and I'll specifically do that. And then of course, make sure you follow me on my social media. Make sure you check out my other channel, and of course make sure you check out my Patreon. You guys will see me in my next video. Bye, you guys.